How's it going, everybody? We are here with another episode of Stock versus Not, and today we are back in the European section of Brand Central, and we are working with a very interesting car, if you want to call it a car. We are in KTM. There's only one KTM available. For those of you who are familiar with KTM, you should know that they are mostly known for their motorcycles, but however, we are given the opportunity to drive the KTM X Bow R, which is the 2012 model. Let's hop into the ranking boards real quick, see what we're going to be going up against in it, and then we'll look at the car settings because it's a little bit of a strange vehicle. So it has 590 performance points, so that's going to put us up against the likes of the SRT Hellcat, the Vipers, the Model 3 we had just recently done. But just keep that in mind, because looking at those weights, that is going to be the name of the game today, I believe. Those are all well above 3,000 pounds, and we are in a 1,700 pound machine. So let's take a look at it. In its stock form, we have, like I said, 590 performance points, 298 horsepower out of a EA 888 engine, which is the 2.0 turbo from the Volkswagen group. So I would assume it's the same engine you'd get out of like your Jettas, your Audi A4s and whatnot. Base models, I would even think. I'm not sure what the like the S line or what the Rs or whatever they call them now. Yeah, so 295 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs 1,700 pounds, and we have a 40-60 weight distribution because that engine is mounted mid-ship in the back. Sports Hards tires is what we're given here today as well. So, let's see what this thing has to do. So, this is a very cool view for today. Open cockpit, obviously, monocoque cockpit, and the realism of Gran Turismo is with us today with the actual, the undulations of the modulations, the movement of those suspension arms right in front of you, and you have the fender flare wheel assembly going up and down with the bumps as the suspension is taking the grunt of the track. For those of you who are new to Stock versus Not, basically what we're going to do today is 3 laps in the stock car, and then we're going to hop into the same exact car again, just fully modified through the GT tuning and auto suite. And Suzuka is our test course, the shorter version obviously. Kind of gives us a good idea as to what these cars are capable of. You have a nice little technical S section, and you have a nice straight that gets you a top speed, or yeah, I guess like a top speed run type of deal with hard braking at the end. Opening lap was a 1 minute. Let's see if we can get anything else out of this essentially road legal go-kart. I don't believe we ever got these in the United States though. I think these are strictly for the European market. I think this would be awesome to have in the United States because all we get are those stupid looking Polaris slingshots, which are those 3-wheeled monstrosities. And to be quite honest with you, those aren't really usable other than just cruising around the road, because most racing sanctions probably won't allow for 3 wheels to be on the track just because it poses a rollover risk. This is in the game, this KTM costs you like 100,000 credits. I don't think anyone has 100,000 just to blow towards a fun track go-kart that doesn't have a roof. That's why people kind of start cutting up Miatas and whatnot. But anyway, let's see what this thing can do. Just looking at the cockpit itself, it's a monocoque cockpit, carbon fiber tub, which is very race car-like. And I guess, the ideology behind this vehicle, or machine if you will, is to basically make a road legal go-kart. It definitely is a Miata on steroids, if you will. It's a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and it's tossable just like the Miata. It's a mid-engine setup, so almost like a supercar layout, if you will. all in a package that is extremely lightweight. And typically, once you get to this kind of technology and setup, you're looking at an actual, like, you know, 6-figure, close to 7-figure sections of supercars. But here we go. 3 laps. 59.097. Optimal would have been a 58.995. But let's see where that puts us on the leaderboard. Car drove great. I mean, there's really not much to ask of it. It's lightweight, it's tossable, it's controllable. Yeah, can't really say much about that. Okay. Oh wow, it's actually comes in behind the GT350R and above the V8 Vantage. So yeah, I mean, not a terrible car. It is, you know, considerably underpowered compared to all its other entries in here. The NSD, that's the 17 NSX, not the 90s one. So yeah, not a bad vehicle at all. So let's go ahead and swap into a fully modified one, and we'll go over the specs real quick, and then we will look at where it's going to be shooting against on the leaderboard. We are now at 770 performance points. No engine swaps here today. 547 horsepower. Still at the same weight. There's no available weight reduction. I don't think you can get it any more lighter aside from removing the paint and light bulbs, I would assume. We are now on racing soft tires. Here's what I have for the suspension settings. The fully customizable diff is here. Transmission wise, just the top speed adjustment is what I do. Here are the bolt-ons. High RPM super turbocharger, I can't talk today. Brakes, mufflers, you name it. Engine tuning, here's what we got on the engine side. No weight reduction available, just the body rigidity installed or performed, enhanced, whatever. Let's go over to our 800 performance point leaderboard. We have quite a stack here to go against. The Viper GTS made 896 horsepower, so well over what we were making in this X Bow. Is our power to weight going to help us here is the real question. Let's see, is there anything comparable horsepower wise? The Civic, yeah, so the FL5 Civic, the newer generation Civic, cut at 50.342. That fully modified made about 580 horsepower. So if we can get it somewhere in that range, what did I just said it out loud, I forget. 50 seconds. Let's see if we can get that done. There's no body modifications available to it, probably because it's just a straight piece of carbon. So no aerodynamic modifications available or anything. So we're just pure man and machine on this thing with, you know, just more power. You can tell just from the interior, you know, you have like a little windscreen at the front, probably just designed to keep the most amount of air away from smacking you in the face, but I wouldn't really recommend driving this car without a full face helmet or some sort of eye protection. Has a little shift light in the middle, and that's about it. But even like just this view of the road that you get with this setup is awesome. Like visibility is great. I mean, even in the Miata being a convertible, you still have a frame with the windshield. This is literally just your eyeballs and you can see everything, which is fantastic. Let's see here, opening lap 51.499. We can definitely beat that. This car is a rocket ship on the straights. You can probably tweak that transmission to get you even higher in the mile/per-hour range, but we do not need that here at Suzuka. Handling-wise, it's perfect. I did not do any ballast adjustments on it. The 40-60 split isn't terrible, and I did not really need any, or didn't see any reason to do any type of, you know, 50-50 adjustment on it. Like I said, the car is already light as can be. I didn't want to add any more weight that was unnecessary for this application here. This car is an absolute ripper through Suzuka now with the Racing Soft tires and a suspension setup. 51.206. Alright, let's keep going. See if we can get down to that 50-second range. I think we can do it. Just gotta find that optimal sweet spot where I can just be on the power the whole time. At least keep the momentum through here. It's probably where I'm losing it. Now this is actually the third vehicle that is it the third vehicle that I'm in stock? I can't remember anymore. I'm pretty sure this might be the third vehicle. I think the Teslas I've done under the new update with the game physics. So for stock versus not. So this is the third vehicle for stock versus not under the new 1.49 game physics. 50.450. And to be quite honest with you guys, like, people complain that the physics have ruined the cars. I have yet to find a car. Ooh, look at that. That was absolutely controllable there. Probably could have held it better to keep the car going, but that was great. Anyway, back to the game physics. I have zero issue with the game physics. People are saying that it's ruined the cars are undrivable, and for the most part, I've yet to find something that is extremely undrivable. If I were to say a car has become undrivable, the only car that I've noticed so far is during the currently right now is that Red Bull time trial with Red Bull in the wet. I know the Austria circuit, and typically for Group 3, I like to use the Porsche, and for some reason, I keep oversteering here. But anyway, for some reason in the Porsche, I was able to get, you know, an okay time to get me at least into like the bronze medals for the lap. But for some reason, under heavy braking, that rear end will just want to come around, and I've never had that happen before in the Porsche. The Porsche is typically the one that, you know, is an easy car to drive and very typically, you know, livable with. So I was like, let me just try a different car. So I hopped into the 458, which is still another mid-engine vehicle. And the 458 was extremely better by the Porsche. I was able to do almost a whole second and a half better in the 458 Italia. So that's probably the only instance where I've noticed that the game physics have affected a car. Did it make the Porsche undrivable? No. I just happened to drive the Ferrari a lot better. We're going to go for lap 6 here, just because I kind of foobarred that 5th lap entry into turn 1, and we'll call it a day here. This car is just so easy to handle if you can pay attention to your inputs. I don't think we're going to get anything out of this thing. Alright, it's fine. 50.450 is our best lap in the KTM, was it X Bow? X Bow? Alright. I don't think it was fast enough to beat that Civic. It might just be behind it. No, yeah, it wasn't even fast enough to beat the GT350. Oh, how unfortunate. So anyway, that is the KTM X Bow R. Very cool car. I keep calling it a car. Let's call it a machine. It's not really... I guess it's a car. You can drive it on the road somewhere. Has side view mirrors, so I would assume so. But anyways, that's today's episode. I will catch you guys in the next one.